Hello, everyone. It is a beautiful Saturday here in Central Texas. Um, as always, if you hear something running in the background or humming, that is just my air conditioner running in the window. And I wanted to make this video today for two things. I'm going to talk about two things. These things have come up uh, over the past week that I wanted to discuss. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about is adoption. So a lot of my struggles right now stem from not being able to conceive yet, me and my husband. And people have asked me, why don't I adopt? And is that an option for me, adoption or fostering? And it's a legitimate question. If I want a child that badly, give someone else's child a home. And here's my thing. I'll tell you why I am not keen on adoption or fostering. The first reason being, Oscar, the first reason being is that I'm 29 now. I think I first started working with kids, like volunteering, when I was like 15 or 16 years old. And in all those years, from like 16 to now, I have been around a few children that were adopted, a few foster children in every job that I've been in. I think I've been around at least one or two different instances where I had to take care of in the classroom a foster child or a child that was adopted. And here's the thing. In all those instances, I don't think I've ever come across a happy adoption story. A lot of the time, I won't say every time, because that wouldn't be the case. I know I've had a few instances where there were children from foster care or children that were adopted that didn't have some crazy background or some sad circumstance. But I would say about 80% of the time when I've dealt with in my classroom children from foster care, children that were adopted, it's always some kind of issue, whether it be the child is from mental or physical abuse or drugs in the household. It was never a situation where a kid was just, like a teen mom had to give her baby up for adoption and a family member was taking care of the child, anything like that. It was always some crazy, crazy scenario. And so for me, looking at that, and seeing what I saw, even babies, like as young as like 1 or 2 years old, still traumatized from stuff like that. And crying, of the excessive crying and like the mental and emotional problems that these children, these foster children and these adopted children go through, because it's not always happy circumstances. It's not always, a family just couldn't provide, so they gave their child up. It's these crazy circumstances. And honestly, I am not equipped to deal with that. I'm not. You can call me selfish if you want to, but I go to work and work with children, Oscar, every day. And so I see the good, the bad, the ugly of children, of parents, things like that. And for me, it wears you out. There's burnout in childcare. There's burnout in every job. And for me to adopt a child or foster a child that has these issues or these problems, or even to adopt or foster a child where maybe it wasn't a bad situation. Maybe they were just given up for adoption because they couldn't be taken care of. They're going to want to know who's my real family and where do I come from, all that kind of stuff. And I just don't feel equipped to deal with that. I really don't. And I know the positive, you take a child in, you love on them, care for them, all that kind of stuff. But my job can be stressful enough dealing with all these kids, all the parents, all the different personalities. And to have to come home to that and deal with a child who may or may not have emotional, mental, physical issues, I just couldn't. I honestly couldn't. I know myself and I know the kind of person I am. And as much as I like working with kids, as much as I like my job, I don't think I would love coming home to that. And I don't think I could love a child properly if they had issues like that. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to handle that, because there are times in my job where there have been children with crazy, crazy situations, and they have that horrible anger, emotional issues that I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know how to deal with this sometimes. And I don't know, I just couldn't bring that into my household. And then even to have to explain to a child, you know, where they come from and their background. And I don't know, it's just not something I'm interested in doing. Um, Also, I'm not interested in adoption or foster care because it's not just about having a child. If it was just about having a child and, oh, I just wanted a baby, then sure, I'd probably do it. But it's not just about having a baby. I want my baby. I want a baby that I have made out of love with my husband. That's what I want. I don't want somebody else's child. I honestly don't. Kids are great and they're fun, but I want my own. I don't want someone else's kid. I want to be able to say, this is my baby that I created. Me and my husband, we made this beautiful baby out of love and time and sacrifice. That's my baby. That's my child. I want that feeling of knowing that I could carry a child and I could have this baby and it grew in me and raise it to be this beautiful, wonderful person. I want my baby, not just any baby, not just any child. I want my child. And that's another reason why I wouldn't adopt, because I just don't want someone else's baby. That's someone else's miracle. That's someone else's magic. I want my own magic. I want my own magic. I want my own baby, my own miracle. So that's my stance on adoption and foster care. And I mean, who knows, maybe in a couple years I might feel different. I could change my mind, but as of right now, at this point in time, it's just not for me. Um, Now, my second thing that I wanted to discuss in this video, I have a little piece of paper so I remember. I wanted to talk about this whole God thing, because for me, going through this journey of learning about Buddhism and learning about what it all encompasses and everything like that, I've had people tell me, don't give up on God, don't stop believing in God. Things are, excuse me, I'm a little sickly with allergies. Things are going to get better. Don't give up hope on God, all this kind of stuff. But I just wanted to say something, because growing up in a Christian household and being raised in the Baptist church and then having a change of heart and changing my mind, I feel like I don't feel attacked, because I mean, to be honest, I haven't told a lot of people about how I feel and that I'm leaning more towards Buddhism. But why is it that I feel like people have made it once a Christian, always a Christian, and that God is this requirement for life? God is not a requirement. The Bible is not required reading. And I know in certain countries, like your religious beliefs, like you can be persecuted for believing in God. And I live in this beautiful country of America where I can do and believe in whatever. And, here I am, grew up Baptist, and I've stopped believing in God. And people are all like, don't do that. Don't do that. But they make it like it's the end of the world. Like, don't stop believing in God. He's always there. Why is it a scary thing? Why is it scary? Why is it terrifying? Like, no, don't do that. Don't stop believing in God. When people start questioning why I chose to kind of turn from Christianity a little, and people start going, no, don't do that, it almost feels a little cultish, because isn't it in many, many cults, when you go to leave and these people, like, they try to pull you back in and, no, you can't do that and you can't do this. Not saying that Christianity is a cult, but the fact that people are so desperate to pull me back in, like, no, don't leave God. Why is it this bad thing? It's not that I've become a horrible person. It's not that I've become a bad person. My beliefs have changed. And God isn't a requirement for me to be happy. God may be a requirement to live a beautiful afterlife, but that's not proven. The Bible is a book, and these biblical characters and everyone in the Bible, there is no tangible proof of that. And I know people will argue me down about that and say, yes, there is, and they can point to this, and that, and this. But at the end of the day, no one has died, gone to heaven, and come back to say, yes, it is real. The Bible is a book, and people believe in it. You believe in it with your heart and your soul because that's what you believe and that's what you feel. And you know it to be true because you believe it in your heart and soul. I don't know the Bible to be true anymore. I don't know the Bible to be true and to the cross and Christianity to be true anymore because that's not what I feel in my soul anymore. I don't feel that in my soul. I don't feel it in my spirit anymore. What I feel right now at this moment in time is that I am just a person. I'm a person on this world. I'm a person on this world because my mother and father created me. And I feel as though I'm still a good person. I still have a beautiful soul and a beautiful spirit, but I can mend myself and I can take care of my soul and my spirit on my own. And that I don't need a God to watch over me or to care for me, or that I need to believe in God to do so. I can make myself happy. I can do things myself. I know how to meditate and keep my calm. And a lot of people don't realize the same things that are taught in Buddhism are the same things that follow Christianity. Take care of your body. Don't drink alcohol. Don't do drugs. Be kind. Don't hurt anyone. Spread love and awareness. It's the same principles. Buddhism is not this terrible thing like, ooh, she's studying Buddhism, and it's not a scary thing. Buddhism follows a lot of the same practices and principles as Christianity. Case in point, I'm going to read something out of my little book here. Let's see. I have a paper in my little book, and this is the Noble Eightfold Path when it comes to Buddhism. And here's what Buddhism talks about: having the right view, understanding the nature and cause of suffering, and the method of release. So that's kind of talking about like knowing where suffering comes from, being able to meditate, right intention, readiness to begin renouncing attachment and cultivating compassion. Don't be overly attached to things. We're sad and we're depressed because we're overly attached. What does the Bible say? That this stuff is just stuff. Don't be attached to stuff because you're going to die and go to heaven anyways, right? That's the same principle. Right speech, using language impeccably, avoiding lying, slander, and verbal violence. Right speech. What does the Bible teach? Hold your tongue. Your tongue is wicked. That's the same thing in Buddhism. Right action. Avoiding harm on yourself and others, needless killing, stealing, or sensual obsession. Same as the Bible. Don't kill, steal, covet your neighbor's wife. Same things. Right livelihood. Earning a living in a way that honors yourself and others. Don't be a cheat. Earn your living in a good and honorable way. Right effort. Cultivating sincere discipline, but not overdoing it. So do things, but don't become consumed with stuff. Do things the right way, but don't be consumed by things. Right mindfulness. Cultivating the habit of gently monitoring and shaping mental content. Be in control of your thoughts, your actions. That's part of the Bible. Right meditation. Developing a practice of focused, intentional consciousness. Meditating. Keep yourself in the right state of mind. What does the Bible say? Get in your Bible. Read the word. It's the same stuff. I am not in some creepy cult. This isn't bad stuff that Buddhism is about. It follows along the same line as Christianity does, to be a good person, to be kind, don't kill, or still take care of yourself. The only difference is we do this ourselves. It's not waiting on a God and praying to a God that may or may not show up all the time. With Buddhism, it's suffering and you suffer and it's okay. You can get rid of your suffering through your mindset and not being overly attached to things you shouldn't be. Instead of waiting on a God, I am doing it myself. I am simply doing it myself because I can. I don't have to wait on God, who I may or may not believe in anymore. I can give myself peace of mind. There's a line from a song, and I think it's something like, where does my strength come from? My strength comes from the Lord. And that line has been in my mind a lot over the past week. And I don't know why, but it's from a real popular song. I can't remember the name of the song, but I just remember that verse, where does my strength come from? My strength comes from the Lord. Something like that. I can't sing, obviously. But I think about that and I'm like, my strength doesn't come from the Lord. It comes from myself, from my inner being. Because you know what? I am a strong, powerful woman, and I'm going to heal myself, and I'm going to work hard and give myself peace of mind. I'm not crazy. I'm not insane for not believing in God anymore. I just have a different view on life. God is not a requirement for happiness. And I just have to say, I want to apologize to anyone who I ever may have felt like I was pushing God onto you. If you are watching this and I have ever pushed God on you, I am sorry, because that is just silliness. I always consider myself to be very open-minded, even as a Christian. Like how I feel about gay marriage. I think that the Bible says, I know that the Bible says a man and another man should not be together. A woman and another woman should not be together. A marriage is a man and a woman. But you know what? This is the world. This is life. And sometimes people love who they love. And are they wrong for that? No. And I think a lot of Christians see that and they go, like the crazy Westboro Baptist Church people, how they talk about, being a FAG is a sin and all this kind of stuff. And you know what? That's between them and God. For me, having been a Christian, I could give two craps about gay marriage, because you know what? That's between them and whatever God they believe in. You're still meant to love people and trust people and be kind. And people are missing that a lot in Christianity. There's a lot of stuff with Christianity that people just miss, and they read what they want to read in things. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty, and it's not cute to be a Christian and only believe certain things. And that's why I think for me, Buddhism is just better. It's better for me, and it's better for my livelihood. So don't take this as me like just being a psycho. I'm not psycho. I'm not crazy. I need a different mindset, and I've had a change of heart. It's as simple as that. And back when I was younger, I know I don't know if I ever pushed Christianity on people, but I know I was very open about my religion. And so that probably got on people's nerves. I'm sure it did, because not everyone believes in God. But now going back and looking at it, it feels so liberating to be able to say, I had a change of heart. Because it's okay to be human. It's okay to change your mind and change it again and change it back. And that's just how I feel about that situation, guys. God is not a requirement for happiness.